the transforming of the food and beverage manufacturing industry here. So quality and compliance enhanced with the recall ready response. This webinar will showcase how Rockwell Automation's Plex QMS, Royal Industrial Solutions, and the GRTechTeam's recall ready response are engineered to enhance lot management, traceability, validation processes, ensuring that superior quality and compliance, creating necessary closed loops and that quality feedback system. Again, if you're not familiar, my name is Michael Fry. I'm a part of the sales and marketing department here at GR Technology. I'd also like to go through and introduce some of our speakers for today's session. We'll start off with Angie Abarca, Director of Professional Services at GR Technology. We do have Tyler Riggle, Project Manager at GR Technology as well. Mario Hudson, Quality Management Senior Consultant at GR Technology, and also Samuel Osagura, Business Development Manager at Royal Industrial Solutions. Bringing us to our agenda for the day today, we'll start off with a brief background of GRT and Royal Industrial Solutions. We'll lead into some industry standards that are involved with food and beverage, the solution to some of those industry standards, and finally, the impact of that solution. So starting off with the introduction of our companies, again, we'll have that Q&A section up, so feel free to type them in at any time. But Sam, why don't you take it from here and introduce Royal?
Sure. Yeah, thank you, Mike. I am Sam with Royal Industrial Solutions and representing also FactoryXT. So we have been in the business for over 40 years, I think even more than that. And we help customers with their industrial needs, like supplying industrial automation, hardware, software, also providing services like maintenance services, industrial networks, training, and energy management solutions for optimization, cost reduction. And here at Royal, we have this vision of helping our local customers here in Southern California to become more successful, becoming more productive, more efficient, reducing their production cost. The way we do that is by having conversations with our customers, identifying their challenges, their pain points, understanding their initiatives, and then we look around for technologies and partners like GRTech that can address these issues and propose a solution. Consequently, over decades of experience, we have built a very comprehensive portfolio. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so this portfolio is unique because now we can help our industrial customers from sensors and actuators in the production plant floor, in your machines, all the way to business applications like finance and accounting for production environments, production management, maintenance management, quality management, which is the purpose of this webinar. All these solutions in place, again, to help our customers to become successful, digitizing operations, eliminating silos of data and information, right, and hit the bottom line. So yeah, that's who we are. This is Royal. We are local, Southern California, 7 offices. And with that in mind, I'll bring Angie to talk more about GRTech.
Thank you. We are GR Technology. We're headquarters in Los Angeles, California, have locations globally to help accommodate time zones and provide you with local and accessible support. We have been a Plex Advanced Implementation Development Partner and a Rockwell Automation System Integrator since 2015. We do help implement solutions for manufacturers across all areas of Plex, including quality management, enterprise resource planning, and production monitoring. In addition to that, we also build a great platform which allows Plex customers to enhance their usage of Plex with our integrated solutions like EDI Passport and CFO Express. And on the next slide, you will see our battle card in which we will summarize some of our services, products, and integrations. We offer numerous products like our R3, which we'll speak on today, along with other great products like Code Express, Project Central, and our ACH conversion utilities. We offer existing integration solutions to TMS software like Pendo, Salesforce CRM, and business intelligence software like Power BI and Tableau. And now with that, I'll hand it off to Tyler, who will walk you through some of our industry standards.
Thank you, Angie. So let's talk about some industry standards. As we all know, food and beverage industry can present many challenges when trying to adhere to the ever-changing regulations and guidelines. It can be a lot to maintain and manage. You have FDA regulations and guidelines, FSMA and HACCP to the new FSMA Rule 204, FDA food codes, and everything down to international regulations, all while attempting to maintain compliance and consistent quality through audit preparedness, recall management, keeping up with documentation, record keeping, integrations, traceability, and reporting. It's a lot to handle for one team, or in some cases, one person. So how do we track these requirements and standards? It brings us to the business solution. In our case, our Plex QMS. So Plex QMS is designed to meet the needs of manufacturers in a variety of industries, not just food and beverage. But in the last couple of years, they've had an enhanced emphasis on enhancing food safety, quality, and compliance throughout the system. Given that they have a proven track record throughout the food and beverage industry with a number of successful implementations. They offer a scalable solution, small to large enterprises and everything in between, and it's integratable to other ERPs. So there's no need to uproot your existing ERP and make a massive change if you don't want to. You can simply integrate the Plex ERP functions with your existing system. So we say Plex can help in these areas, but what does that really look like? So my next slide here, we have the Plex quality module map. So the Plex module consists of roughly 33 functions that are fully integrated with the Plex ERP. It's divided into 3 major processes that span the entire life of the product, from qualifying the supplier to handling the customer reported problems and warranties. So starting on the left here, we have our supplier quality management, which includes everything from qualifying that supplier and their parts to rating the supplier with a scorecard, all while being fully integrated. So what's an example of being fully integrated? Well, say a supplier with a low score based on previous late deliveries can result in the system putting that supplier on hold, or even indicating to purchasing that they may want to source materials from a different vendor this time. So moving into the central quality process here, and I'm not going to highlight each and individual one of these modules for the sake of time, but I like to touch on a number of them and some of the key components to try and illustrate the full picture here. So like most robust systems, we start small and granular to be sure we capture each individual part's needs and characteristics, and most systems are referred to as part specifications. Each function builds on the last, and once built out, leaves no stone unturned. So we start with the part specifications. Part specifications flow into control plans. From control plans, you can create your check sheets and process instructions, allowing you to capture real-time data and build reports based on those findings. Now you combine that with some failure mode analysis and some lot management, and you can start to see how Plex QMS is designed to capture every step along the way. So let's briefly talk about FMEA, or failure mode effects analysis. Plex offers both the 4th edition as well as the latest edition of FMEA, which breaks it into 2 distinct groups, a P and a D FMEA, process and design, along with providing foundations for both. So foundations allow for the creation of a P or D FMEA that you can apply to a family of parts that share the same failure modes, eliminating tedious duplicate data entry. And of course, they're editable as well. So they really serve as templates. So for example, if you have a new part that you need to create a failure mode for, record for, Then you could, but it shares the same 8 out of 10 of this other one that you made a foundation for. You simply bring that foundation in, remove the 2 you don't need, maybe add 1 or 2 that you do, and you're up and running without having to enter each individual line every time. So that's a new feature that I would just wanted to highlight there. Combine that with also offering lot traceability and lot management. And not listed here is Plex's new tank lot traceability. So lot management has been expanded to now calculate and work with tanks and silos. So this ensures that all mixed lots are recorded in the lot trace for every destination lot, enhancing traceability. So some of the benefits of that include enhanced food safety, backwards and forward traceability, and streamlined compliance. Also included and tying everything together here in this central group really is the document control system, which has its own security and checkout processes built in. So all your records and documents that are you find in the various modules, you can find one centralized, organized file cabinet, if you will, again with its own level of security and checkout procedures. Now moving over to what Plex calls the advanced quality section, we get into some of the control processes that Plex supports. So we consisting of gauge control, gauge calibrations, gauge inventory, integrating those electronic gauges to the system, problem control, a form designer to create custom problem forms to meet your needs, quality standard compliance, and advanced inventory traceability, giving you a nice product genealogy. And then what happens when the product leaves your facility, also included here, is warranty claims tracking as well as rejection tracking. So overall, from a very high level, I hope you can see that Plex QMS offers an end-to-end solution that captures every detail along the way. So now let's take a look at what the plant floor could look like with end-to-end automation, asset performance management, or APM. So here we can see an image, illustration of our plant floor with our various work centers highlighted in green. So when a machine malfunctions, it creates a ripple effect that impacts all aspects of your manufacturing success. If you're facing challenges such as missed deadlines, substandard products, slow recall response, insufficient microstops, or expensive equipment repairs or replacement, then the Plex APM application might be for you. So let's see here what the plant floor looks like with when these processes can be integrated. So, plant floor control. Automate work center setup. Automate fast and complex processes. Synchronize that plant floor activity and gather real-time machine data and feed that right into the control panel of your Plex plant floor control. Quality management, again, integrated right into the quality module. Monitor and capture operational data. Auto fill out some of those check sheets. Reduce the human input errors of some of that. Again, fed right into quality. Into the inventory management. Traceability. Track inventory by individual parts, pinpoint quality issues quickly, and giving you the ability to trace those processes deeper and faster. Other production and scrap tracking. Speed up the label processing. Automate serialized labels. Scrap management, capture the real-time scrap rates quickly, locate and fix those high scrap operations, and generate accurate scrap cost analysis, all done throughout integrations and APM to capture the real-time automated data. Overall, you get a real sense of where each part of the plant floor can be automated and where those automations feed into. So now that we've seen what Plex offers and the plant floor illustrating the various automations, where does GRT come into play? Well, with our recall ready response, or R3. The R3 process was created specifically, but not exclusive to, Plex QMS to maintain traceability of all items from start to finish, including end of life. So simply put, R3 is our solution to quickly equip your business with the tools and resources it needs to successfully adhere to the standards of today's production and manufacturing throughout the entire life of a product. We bring years of expertise and best practices with our team of experienced quality consultants. We'll provide centralized document control and access, easy to understand and maintain security, real-time data availability and audit trails, reporting, standard and custom, check sheet templates, QMS workflows, quick rollouts of lot management and process management, and much more. Everything you need to be audit compliant in one central location and team. So after seeing what Plex has to offer, and when combined with R3, it's easy to see how quickly quality-related pain points become a thing of the past. Now, I'd like to throw it to Mario here for us to take a look at a practical scenario and how R3 maps it out with Plex QMS. Mario, why don't you take us through the new rule?
So this slide, what you see then is a practical example of using R3 on the existing FSMA Rule 204 for the food industry. Most companies that are involved in the industry will need to comply to this by January 2026. There's two components. One of them is to track the activity. The other one is to report to the FDA within 24 hours. The first thing we'll talk about, there's three components to this new law. One is the traceability plan. Once you click the advances the slide, right then you can see then this traceability plan is displayed, or you see the box in green is captured through the document management system within the system, in the QMS. Okay, so that's the first thing. You need to have a detailed tracking plan that tells what you're going to track, how you're going to track, and then report. The next component is your critical events. So what you see now, the box on the very top, identify the key steps within the manufacturing process that needs to be captured, where key data elements need to be captured. So from each one of these key control points within the manufacturing process, each one have key data elements that needs to be connected. So once you click the next slide, please. So what you see now, within the first section, product data management, you can see that not only are you tracking the ingredients, but you're also tracking the manufacturing parts. Next, you see supply chain. You're capturing and tracking not just the receiving, but also any returns. Go ahead and advance the slide once more. Again, we go into the next level. We're tracking the production, scrap tracking, lot tracking, job tracking. So we're maintaining the chain of custody of that item throughout the manufacturing cycle. And advance it one more time, please. To the point where even the customer shipment and returns are tracked. So you can see within the lifestyle of that product, there's a chain of custody, which is that red line. That chain of custody is maintained throughout the entire life cycle of the product. So advance the slide one more. In addition to providing that ability to maintain traceability and reporting capabilities, we're adding quality aspect, as was mentioned by Tyler, for the FEMA, deviation, spare parts tracking, process routing, control plans, lot management, reject tracking. So we're able to maintain full control of the product from the source to the store, which is the requirement for the FDA. Okay? So implementing R3 provides you not only the ability to meet the compliance, but it enhances your ability to deliver quality product to your customers. So now I'll advance the slide. Okay. And now we'll hand it over.
Thank you, Mario. Yes, so now let me just share a thought on the level of integration we can provide with organizations like GRTech. Because now that you have your digital quality management system, the technology allows you to connect to your production plant floor, to your lines, to your machines, to your sensors, and capture sensors data that is important for quality purposes. Think of temperature values, presence sensors, color sensors, humidity sensors, and we can collect all that information that may be existing in your machines already, contextualize that information to your production batch, your lot number, timestamp it, push it back to your quality management system. And this is where Royal Industrial Solutions, with decades of experience in the production plant floor and automation, bring value, because we know how to connect these systems together. We can help identifying the right sensors and the right communication back to the QMS. Think about how much time your operators or quality staff can save by delegating a big portion of data capture and inspections to the machines themselves. In principle, this is where we see a huge opportunity with the food and bev industry to find ways to become more productive, right? Integrating your technologies in the plant floor back to your business applications, in this case, quality management system. I just wanted to leave you with a thought, and there are organizations like GRTech and Royal that can bridge that gap. Now, I'll bring Tyler.
Thanks, Sam. Well said. So we've talked about the life of the part throughout its journey in the plant, but what happens when that leaves your business? Well, RMA management here will help with the life of your product once it's left the facility. So it'll allow you to leverage that return data to better enhance the engineering and the production of that part the next time around. We can see here shown are some graphs provided by an integration that we've done that pulls data from Plex QMS that will help with inventory management, planning and scheduling, job management, reports, metrics, and much more. And it includes a report writer, customizable dashboard, and data warehouse using the same tools that you already use to create your reports and analysis. So that's just a little bit on the service management side I wanted to include. So to summarize here, we've seen the business solutions here. We have, you can see now by leveraging Royal Industries FactoryXT, GRT's R3, and Plex's QMS, we're able to build out an incredibly robust system capable of handling the most detailed or simple quality requirements and standards. We have FactoryXT handling the hardware side, GRT integrating and implementing the software, and then Plex providing the business platform to centralize all of the needs. So let's take a look at this business impact. So by implementing QMS, you can now meet the industry standards talked about throughout the presentation today, such as process and production control, change management, design control, corrective and preventative action, product surveillance, resources, and management responsibility. Now I'm going to throw it back to Mario for a sec here to take us through some of the impacts of implementing that QMS and the effect it has on the full line of from start to finish.
You see on the left side of the graph, it's a representation of QMS and the different, as Tyler mentioned, functionalities that are implemented. That leads to the right side of the graph that shows the benefits that you see. You'll be able to meet the industry standard by implementing best practices. Increase your productivity. And also not only increase productivity, but enhance it. Make sure you're delivering a better product. You do that by reducing your costs, reducing your quality costs, reducing your risk. And that's done by streamlining your process, which you'll be able to identify your issues quicker, resolve your issues quicker. Most important, you're going to increase your customer satisfaction because you're going to have repeated delivery of quality products. You're also going to increase your reputation because by delivering quality product, your reputation is increased, translate into increased revenue. I think most important, you have business continuation because we know that compliance to regulatory guidelines is critical to business continuation. You don't meet those standards, there's a risk. There's a risk that you may go out of business. So the key message here is that implementing a quality management system leads to better product, better quality, and successful business. I'll pass it back on to Tyler.
Yes, thank you, Mario, for talking us through some of that. And at this point, I think we could throw it back to Michael, actually.
Perfect. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I kind of want to break into, some Q&A, right? So we've had our Q&A open for the session. We have some few, that have come in. I think the first one here is for Sam. What is the difference between Royal and FactoryXT?
Okay, that's a good question. Thank you, Mike. So we are part of the same organization, same parent company. The difference, because both organizations are helping customers, right, with their industrial needs. But the difference is where they operate in the technology stack. Royal is more in the industrial automation, hardware, industrial controllers, sensors, machine safety, motor control, right? FactoryXT, this is a group of consultants that help connecting the production plant floor to business applications like Plex with GRTech, right? So if you think about the technology stack we show in the previous slide, we as FactoryXT, we operate in the supervision of operations, manufacturing software, business applications, and how to collect data from your plant floor back to these systems. So we are part of the same organization. We are an integrated structure, right? And we are in the same buildings. So that's kind of a main difference.
Perfect. Appreciate the explanation there again, yeah, for our crowd here. I think this one would also be good to hand off maybe to Angie, typical implementation time of QMS. What does that look like?
Plex QMS is highly configurable and scalable. and a standalone quality modular solution. So it can be implemented. You can go live in as few as 5 weeks.
Awesome. Okay. And you mentioned that too, right? Customizable. So everything right from dashboards, reports, et cetera, all those can be customized.
Yeah, it can essentially be designed to meet any of the unique needs of your production lines, individual plans, enterprise-wide control systems. It can also be used with APIs if we want to integrate, remove any duplication of data entry. And essentially, it's accessible from any device that you have. So we can leverage hardware that you have, anything that's user-friendly already throughout your shop floor. So it can be pretty seamless and user-friendly to use throughout your plants, and get you live pretty quickly, and pretty seamlessly.
Awesome. It seems like a couple more kind of building off that. What are some challenges in adopting a platform like QMS? Change management, something like that, right? What is the best protocol for a new implementation? I don't know if that's a great one for you or Mario, either one.
I can certainly touch on that, right? With combining Plex, right, it being a modular solution, those APIs, like I said, we have at GRT the recall ready response. So that's all of your processes, change management, protocol. We are working with you with solutions and processes, even within Plex themselves, right? Different things that out of the box we can help you lead the way. So this really helps with that. Mario, I don't know if you would like to add anything else from the QMS standpoint.
Sure. I think the key to successful in any implementation is change management within the organization. And we bring with it not only the implementation of the system for you, but a methodology to help educate and change the mindset of the organization so that we can ensure adoption. Because the biggest challenge always when you're transitioning from one system to another is not the system functionality, but the mindset of the individual involved in the process. So it's important to us as we go through and implement for you, we implement a program throughout the process that works towards changing the thinking within the organization so that at the time of implementation, and more successful.
Awesome. Yeah, appreciate the, again, clarifications there. It seems like too, we're doing pretty well on time. So we have a few more. One would be, is Plex QMS and the standardization of R3 applicable to other industries besides food and beverage?
Yeah, the key here is that, yes, it's applicable to all different industries, because the key element is identifying the major areas of control that you need to have and all of the data points within those areas that you need to keep control of. So yes, the objective is not limited just to the food industry. It's limited to, it can be expanded to any company or industry that's regulated. And that's the beauty of the system. It really addresses compliance within the regulated industries.
Awesome.
And I'll also add a little bit to that. Plex QMS, for those of you who might be Plex users, know Plex was actually born in the automotive shop floor. So it is really essential within any industry, right? Any manufacturing suppliers, whether it's to meet customer requirements, reducing inventory, eliminating scrap, dealing with commodity costs, anything like that. Plex is definitely friendly to all of the industries, food and bev, automotive, general manufacturing. We have customers of all arrays of manufacturing plants and definitely have best practices that we can bring to the table for you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Angie. I have one here that's pretty specific. How does QMS handle the complexity of private label production? So specifically where multiple brands with different specifications are manufactured in a single facility.
In Plex, you can have what we consider your internal part or item number. And from that, you do have customer parts and customer items where you can specify those different things. Other than that, you can also even set them up to be BOM components. I know some customers, they build to stock and then from there build to order. So there is capabilities to really be flexible to be able to handle your private labels as well as how you ideally want to produce your items within your facility.
Awesome. Appreciate that one. And I think, again, maybe going to capabilities of QMS, what predictive analytics and machine learning capabilities does QMS offer specifically? And items we talked about, right? Quality control and risk mitigation. But what are some of those capabilities regarding those predictive analytics and machine learning capabilities?
The SPC, statistical process control, that's built into the system. And as it's integrated into the QMS of the ERP system, you begin to collect that data real time and have reports available to you to show you those areas of issues where things may be surfacing. You also have your PFEMA and DFEMA controls that you can define failure parameters and within your control plan, identify that so you begin to see real time deviation. But we talked a little bit about deviation control. You're able to look at the deviation or changes over time within your manufacturing process and have real time reporting through the SPC.
Perfect. Thank you for that one. So we have a few more. I have two more questions, though. I don't know if we can get through them all. This one will be for, I think, Sam. How does QMS integrate with Industry 4.0 technology? So things like smart sensors, robotics, anything of that nature to enhance that quality control and traceability.
Yeah. So if you want to automate data collection, typically, in the production floor, there are industrial controllers like PLCs, we call them PLCs, that have inputs and outputs controlling your machines. And if there is a piece of information inside that machine that you want to push to QMS, we can just leverage the existing controller to add some logic and then push that information to a local server inside that facility and then share that to QMS. It varies depending on your priorities or what's your use case, right? What do you want to capture? What's valuable for you? But we can make that connection happen. It's not vendor specific. So if you have different automation vendors, different robot vendors, there are always standards in this industry that we can eventually reach out and bring the piece of information that you need to QMS. And yeah, so we have consultants, specialists that can go through that process. What we see most common is that customers don't want to go into the details; they just want to deploy that integrated solution, more like a turnkey proposal, right? But yeah, we can accomplish that. We have other customers that they have staff of controls engineers. They want to know how to operate. They want to know how to integrate that information, and we can have workshops. We can do technical updates so they can do that by themselves and helping with that connection to the QMS, right? So yeah, I think every customer is different and every customer wants to approach this in a different way.
Definitely, yeah. That's why I was like, appreciate
examples.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you for those examples. Those are great. And we just have one more, at least, I think, before we can try to jump off here is, does R3 include documentation to help create or facilitate standard operating procedures? I think this is one either for Angie or Mario or Tyler here.
I think the critical part of any quality system is documentation. And within the QMS, there's actually a module that we will use to document those procedures, all your work instructions, all your guidance document. And most important, you can then deliver those to your workstations so that people have access to the actual real-time information, work instructions that allows the quality to be applicable or applied at the specific place in need. Sometimes in companies, you have instructions, but they're in a different system or they're not readily available. Within QMS, the documentation is readily available where it's needed, where it's used. So that's one of the big advantages of having R3 in the QMS.
And I'll
Perfect.
piggyback on that. I'll piggyback on that, Michael.
Yep.
And in addition to what Mario just highlighted and in what Plex has to offer there, we bring another level to that in standardizing some of those documents. Mario is fantastic at writing procedure and documentation and setting you up with templates in those various modules to help facilitate some of that. Angie, I think you had something to add as well.
Yes, I wanted to highlight, for those of you new to Plex, one exciting new feature, as I'm always implementing, is when customers find out that Plex QMS actually comes with a document control system within that ERP system. It's a single system document control. All of your processes and instructions are within the QMS software, all of your policies, procedures, record retention, there's revision tracking, security. There's an extensive amount of access within Plex itself that allows you to maintain one source of truth of the documentation. And like Mario said, you push that all the way down to your shop floor. If you wanted to print with the job sheet, or if you wanted to show up on the control panel as your operators are producing the materials, there are buttons within the screen that it is readily available for them to click on it, whether you want to show a video, information, instructions, pictures. All of that information is accessible throughout all of the facility and can be maintained from one centralized location.
And really, it's going to eliminate the need for those outside systems and spreadsheets in all different kinds of locations, right? All centralized that R3 can bring to the table there.
Perfect. Very extensive. Again, appreciate that. For the sake of time, though, if we did not get to the anyone else's questions, I do have some contact information here on the next slide. If you'd like to chat further, please don't hesitate to shoot me a call, send me an email. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Again, we had some great questions there too, so I'm very happy we got through those. I do want to say again, thanks to Rockwell and Plex, Royal Industrial Solutions and FactoryXT, and obviously our GRTechTeam today for presenting and expanding on Plex QMS, the F&B industry itself. I hope everyone who joined us found some valuable insights here, and goodbye for now. And thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all.